Good afternoon everybody and welcome to Flight Simulator official launch day on PS5 for anyone that's just bought the standard edition. So standard edition launched today, 8 AM UK time this morning. I've just not long got home from work, I've had a coffee, so I'm going to stream for a couple of hours and I'm just going to do a few free flights for now, I think, just to try and master my landings, because when I'm doing the jobs in the career mode, I'm not getting a single landing right. Completely scuppering my landings, and it's getting me like D or C rankings, and I need to master them a bit more. Now, and I've chosen the caravan as well, and I had trouble. Give me a sec, hang on. So I've chosen the Cessna Caravan, Grand Caravan EX, should I say. I've customised it and made it so that it's passenger ready. Because you can customise them and have it be a medi plane or a cargo plane or a passenger plane. I've got it ready for passengers. I've got weather conditions as alive. I'm going to do a flight down in the bottom of the UK here, down in the Cornwall area. What's that there? That is never a landing strip. Oh my god, it is as well. Oh, I'll tell you what then. We're going to take off from there. Didn't even know about that there. I never knew them islands were there. We'll do a shorter flight for the time being, and we'll land in... We'll go there, keep it short and sweet. So that's saying that's an 11-minute flight. We'll do it in the caravan. And I'm not tinkering around with any cold starts yet. It's bad enough trying to get the thing off the ground, stabilise and then land it, before I start tinkering around with cold starts and getting all the systems up and running and whatnot.
St. Mary's Tower, Tubbs Hotel, Tree 81 Tree at runway 14 ready for departure. Departure to the south.
Tubbs Hotel, Tree 81 Tree. QNH 1005 south departure approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 14.
Takeoff runway 14, Tubbs Hotel, Tree 81 Tree.
So this is officially out now for everyone. Like I say, early access is done. Disappointingly, even though this is now officially launched today, there's no content in this the in-game marketplace. I was hoping for some third-party content, like some of the Orbix packs, especially to improve the landscape detail in some regions in the UK. So there's none of those packs available yet. There's no. In fact, they've tweeted, because they've tweeted saying that the launch was going to be a rolling launch globally, and people have commented underneath on X, formerly known as Twitter, asking about in-store content and updates and whatnot, and they've commented saying they've got no news to share as of yet with regards to third-party store content or any form of update. So we've still only got the option to stream the content for this game. There's no option to natively install any of the world updates that there is. But there is a huge rumour flying around that Sim update number 4 is due to land this week. Or they were, and there was all kinds of rumours saying, oh, they're going to throw it out at the same time as they launch it on the PS5. But we've had nothing as of yet, and if there's any truth in those rumours, if those rumours have got any kind of concrete, you know, foundation to them, then they may want to get this out the gate first, see how this holds up now that it's out for everybody, and then they might launch an update for. We don't know. But anyway, let's fly. So there's Veronica, looking the part, as always. Nice, give me a hand. Inside the cockpit. I've got enough runway there. I have. Now this plane, I've noticed when I was trying to fly. Ooh, what the? That's the wind. Oh my god, crosswinds. Jesus Christ. Look at this. Look at the wind here. Jesus Christ, the crosswind got underneath me then and almost messed me up big time. Yeah, what I was about to say before my plane started getting blown off on the runway, or blown over, was that I noticed that this plane, when I was trying to fly this the other day from Dublin to Liverpool, see, it has some kind of throttle restriction on it. And at first I thought, oh, have I changed a setting? Have I changed some kind of like safety setting to prevent damage to the plane or any of the systems, so that I can't max out the throttle? But I know, I just think it's a feature of the plane. I need to look at changing that tail number, because that hotel is a bit mental. So it's only an 11-minute flight, isn't it, this? So I don't want to get too high. Axel, I've taken off from a really small island off the coast of Cornwall, and I'm flying into Cornwall, or that neck of the woods, doing a really short flight because I want to master. I want to get better at landing, because I was doing the career-based stuff last night. Whilst AT was streaming, I was playing it off stream, and I was really struggling with the landing. I was really cocking up the landing bit, and I wasn't getting the other bits that good either. Because on some of the missions on the career where you have to fly over certain areas, and the people that you've got on board want to take in the scenery, they're complaining that I'm going too fast. And I need to figure out how to reduce my airspeed when I'm doing flybys. I'll show you on the map in a minute, because I didn't even know they existed. I certainly didn't know there was a landing, an airstrip there. Going to be tricky, this is, because I would ideally like to see the runway from here so I know if I'm approaching from the right angle or direction, but I can't see a bleeding thing. I don't know, you know. I really don't know that. Right, so I think that's definitely where I'm going to be landing, but because of the cloud cover, I couldn't really see, so I'm going to do a flyby and come back around if I have to. Because I'm way too high anyway. Yeah, and you know what, look at me, I was pinpoint pretty much facing the right way and everything. Because you can see the white lights towards the left hand side of the runway there. But I'm just, I'm too high and coming in too fast. You just auto-adjusted there, I think, once I've made landfall, and when I've got within the vicinity where I need to be for land, I think it kind of auto-adjusts. They haven't told me what runway you land at yet, anyway, have they? Oh, cheers, Storm. Right, I'm going to bring it back around. Bloody crosswind here, blowing me to the right. Oh yeah, look at this crosswind. Woohoo! What the I don't know what happened to his speed then. It was going ever so well until my speed decided to shoot up and it put me well off. I thought I was going to nail that then, and then I must have pressed a combination of buttons and my speed shot all the way back up and it threw me. And what I was trying to do was remove the limiter, because this has like a throttle limiter on it. I don't like this throttle limiter. Right now I can't, it's not letting me put down the... There we go. Yeah, I'm down, but it wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be. Because I just all of a sudden dropped out of the sky. And I was panicking, thinking that I wasn't going to drop out of the sky, because my power had gone back on. I thought I was going to overshoot the runway. That takes a while to go down, doesn't it? I'll tell you what though, the side wind then, the crosswind, that was scary. It's figuring out how to shut everything fully down as well. Like everything down so it registers that I've finished my flight. Because in Microsoft flights in 2020, when you used to turn off a few of these levers or knobs inside the cockpit, and then you hit the main like master switch of sorts, it would automatically register that you completed the flight then. Whereas on this, I haven't mastered that yet. So I then end up doing this and ending flight, and I don't know if that's going in my log, if you're with me, as a successful flight, if that makes sense. Because I'm pretty sure I remember on MS-20 that if you didn't shut the plane down to the point where the game registered that you'd completed your flight, they weren't registered in your log. I'm sure they weren't, or they weren't classing as a completed flight. You'd automatically get the summary screen as soon as you hit the right switch inside. And I'm missing a switch in here because I can hear. You can still hear something going. What's that noise? Is it? Oh, there's another plane taking off then outside. So yeah, there's going to be a main switcher or something I reckon I'm missing. They're all to do with the lights. Anti-ice. That's already off, whatever that is, that's off. There we go. I still don't think it's going to register that I've done it, even though the battery's now off. Yeah, so I'm fully off there, and it's still not registered that I've completed it, so I'm going to have to do it this way. So that's where I landed. And that's where I took off from. And I didn't even know up until today that they that existed, and that it's actually got an airstrip on it. Of all things. So there you go. Well, see, good afternoon. Nobody's buddy. You lurk away. Right, shall I try? We'll fly from here. Isle of Wight into that one. Is that the Isle of Wight? And the Isle of Man's the other one between us and Ireland. Are they the Isles of Sicily, are they? Are they? Who's that? No, must be just I think the players, their planes are green. Right, let's do Isle of Wight then. Let's go to Cardiff. That's going to take me half an hour. And we'll stay in this plane. Oh, hang on. No. Just remember I wanted to do something. Yeah. Real time, real weather in the free flights. I don't think you get access when you're playing the Korea. I think Sharky's put something in Discord about not having access to live weather and live conditions until you've passed a certain test. But in free flights, it's real time unless you specify otherwise. I think AC's been picking his own custom time. Because when he's been streaming, obviously he's been streaming in the evening, it's dark in real life, and he doesn't want to do any night flights because he's whilst he's still getting to grips with stuff, he still wants to be able to see what he's doing. Steam, good afternoon, buddy. I mean, I could try the autopilot, but let's just fly as is at the minute.
Tux Hotel Mike, Kilo 29er, London Center, Squawk 4272.
Squawk 4272. Tubbs Hotel Mike Kilo 29er.
Tux Hotel Mike, Kilo 29er. Radar contact 2 miles south of Echo Golf, Romeo Bravo, 1300. QNH 1009er.
Roger.
They're not on there, Axel.
Kilo 29er.
There's nothing on. I've put an update in Discord, thinking that because I finished work at 1:45 today, I thought I'll get home, have a coffee, and then I'll fire the game up. And because it's officially out now for everybody, there'll be content in the store, there'll be updates and all sorts, and there's nothing. And they're posting that, you know, they're quite lively on Twitter with regards to updates, and also, you know, they're actually responding to people who were asking about store content and updates and whatnot, and they've said they've got no news to share yet with regards to any updates on third-party content in the store. Because I was hoping for at least the Orbix packs. So we're still exactly as we were the other day. We're still streaming all the content for the game in. The game's still sitting at just under an 8 gig install. And there's no options to install any more content other than the base content. So everything is still being streamed. There's no third-party content in the store. There's no official first-party stuff in the store or anything, other than the planes that come with the base game. So the only other options in the store that I've really got is to upgrade it to the Aviator edition to get some extra planes or some extra airports if I want to. But I'm not that fussed about them, to be fair. I chose the Premium Deluxe edition because I wasn't that bothered about having an extra dozen planes or so. Truth be told, I thought there's more than enough content in the Premium Deluxe edition to, you know, no need to be paying upwards of 200 quid for the Aviator edition, because I think that's the one AC had his eye on initially. Yeah, but the thing is there though as well is I think everybody's mileage is going to vary, isn't it? Because I've also seen somebody on Twitter complaining about that thing Sharky was about with the rolling cache, and because they haven't got the rolling cache feature in the game, people with weaker internet connections are rightly concerned about how bad it's going to perform. 122.730 So I don't know if that's something they intend to add to the game at some point as well, so people can get the rolling cache. I mean, I'm not going to lie, one of my biggest concerns with this game running on a PS5 was not necessarily down to the hardware of the PS5 and how it was going to perform, but when a game like this is so reliant on the infrastructure of the network, because it does stream stuff in, with it having literally the whole world at your fingertips, is that PSN, for all, you know, its airs and graces of how good the hardware is, the network side of PlayStation has never been its strong point. Especially not compared to the godfather of live services, which was Xbox Live. I mean, Xbox Live changed. Jesus Christ, what's going on there? Kind of changed everything, didn't it, and paved the way forward. I don't know quite what was going on there. But then Edwin, I think Edwin runs this on PC, and he posted a clip in Discord today where the weather conditions changed within like a second, under a second. You got clear blue skies, and the next minute you went with like a click, it just all went grey. You didn't gradually fly into it. But yeah, all things considered, all my fears at the moment are being kind of like put to bed, because it's running really nice on my system, and that might be a combination of the fact that I'm running it on a Pro and I've also got really rock solid internet. There was a question mark hanging over this today as well, I think, which is why Sharky was holding off double dipping, is to see how this held up on official launch day with regards to the servers and stuff, once more people had got their hands on it. I suppose it depends how many copies of the game are getting sold, because it's not everybody's cup of tea, is it, this? in all fairness. And it's quite a pricey game as well, even a standard edition. It's a bit pricey for anybody that's a bit doubtful of on sims like this. But I think Sharky seems to think that they might have their own servers with it not having crossplay. That they've got their own dedicated servers set aside for the PlayStation version, which is why it's holding up quite well from an internet infrastructure point of view. So you've got this on PS5 then, Steam, yeah? You'd not played this before that? Before going on PS5? I can never remember whether you had an Xbox or not. Might change area after, so I can do some daytime flights. Ah, so it's all new to you. I couldn't remember whether you'd ever had it on Xbox or PC before. It still blows my mind that we have this on PS5. I mean, it blew my mind enough when we had it on console, full stop. When it came to Xbox and we had it on console, but to now think we've got this on PS5, it's mind-blowing. How the landscape's changed. I think this was the only game that AZ ever wanted that was on Xbox, and he got tempted a few times to pick up an Xbox, but just never got round to it. Now he doesn't need to. My Xbox is nothing more than a streaming machine now for things like Netflix and Disney, because it does do Netflix better than the PlayStation 5 does. Netflix on Xbox supports Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision, whereas on PS5 it doesn't. It's only 5.1. There's just a few things on this version of the game that I need to get my head around that are a bit different than what they were on Flight Sim 2020. Because on Flight Sim 2020, when I started tinkering around with the airliners, I used to, once I'd got my flight of where I was going from and to, I used to program that heading into my into the cockpit, then program what I wanted my maximum altitude to be and my airspeed, take off manually, and then literally press the Y button on the Xbox controller to enable autopilot, and the autopilot would do the rest for, say, you know, a 2 or 3 hour flight, and then I just have to regain control or retake control when I wanted to take care of the landing, and I don't know how to do it on this because it doesn't quite work the same. Zach, good afternoon, good evening, welcome to the stream. How long did you say this flight was? 31 minutes, wasn't it? 31 minutes this flight was. I thought it was coming to oh, you mean the Jurassic stuff? I don't know. I don't know, in honesty. There's supposed to be some Stranger Things coming as well, wasn't there? There's some kind of collab with Stranger Things. Just pause it there a minute because they posted something earlier on, because this is officially out today on the PS5 for anybody that's bought the standard edition. It's officially out worldwide now as of 8 AM UK time. But that said, what did I read on Twitter earlier? So this is what they put on Twitter earlier on. This was 2 days ago, so I probably missed this update, but it probably got an update and I missed it, unless it was a back-end update. But it said a small update is available to install for the players with early access to Microsoft Flight Sim on PS5 and PS5 Pro. This version brings PlayStation in line with PC and Xbox players currently enrolled in the Sim Update 4 beta, targeted for release next week. So there is Sim Update 4. So that confirms that's not really a rumour, to be unfair. I thought it was a rumour, but that's as good as confirms to me that Sim Update 4 is coming, or the beta is coming. So, but that was also saying that we're on the same playing field as the PC and Xbox version. The only thing we haven't got is any store content, which is a shame because I did want the Orbix packs. I wanted to have a look at the Orbix packs. But yeah, going what Axel's saying there as well, going off what I've just read out from their official Twitter account, that would make me think that going forward, any updates and any DLC or content, we should get in line with the PC version and the Xbox version, because it's all singing from the same hymn sheet. That's how I would read that, what they've tweeted. Apart from the fact, like I say, that as of at the moment they haven't got any news to share with regards to any third-party content going onto the store. Depends if the Orbix packs are classed as third-party or whether they are one of their official partners that creates content for them. No worries, Axel. No good flying from in there, I can't see a thing. Bad enough out here. I think both the cats are in. I think they might be upstairs. Nice steady flight so far. Let's see if I can get it on the ground in a bit better than I did the last one. Share. You in the shop? What? You've been sneaking around the shop. Them lights. It's gonna be a tricky landing in the dark, isn't it? fighting against the crosswind here, needing to keep making micro adjustments to the left because I'm getting pushed ever so slightly to the right. Zach, thanks for the follow, by the way. I never got any notification in my actual chat. I've just seen the email. So thanks for the follow, much appreciated. I think I need to tinker with the stream elements again. Getting some nice haptics through the dual sensor, you know, when I'm getting a bit of turbulence as I'm flying through thicker cloud. I haven't done any tinkering with the controls on this, by the way. So I'll come straight into this game knowing what I already knew from playing Flight Sim 2020. And I haven't tinkered with any of the controls. Now I did tinker with some of the controls on the 2020 on the Xbox with regards to the rudder, but I haven't changed anything as of yet on this. Edarin, evening buddy. one key thing on this that I need to get my head around is how the autopilot system works, because it's not the same as what I learned on the 2020 version on Xbox, and I want to start jumping in airliners and stuff. And until I suss out that autopilot, I can't, because I tried a flight the other night from London to Amsterdam in an airliner, and I couldn't get my head around the autopilot, so my plane just kept going up and up and up, and at one point it was at 45,000 feet. And I always like to level off at 30,000 feet, I do, and then as I'm coming in for the approach, I then start bringing it down to like 20,000, then 15, then 10, then 5. And I do it all on MS-20. I did it all with the autopilot by changing the height on the systems, on the cockpit, and I can't figure it out on this. The Simverse coins are going to be for buying in-game content, but because there's whether it's going to give us the choice of using real money or whether we have to buy Simverse coin bundles, I don't know. Until they populate the store with extra stuff, I don't quite know how it's going to work. All I know right now is, for example, because I bought the premium deluxe version of this game, the only content available to me in the in-game marketplace is the option of upgrading from the premium deluxe version of the game to the aviator version of the game, which, when we had the option of buying the game, there was a £70 difference here in the UK, and now I can only buy that with Simverse coins, and I would have to buy so many Simverse coins. In fact, I tell a lie. The other day when I had early access to it, the only way that I could buy the Aviator Edition, if I wanted to upgrade to the Aviator Edition, was by buying Simverse coins. But, bear with me, you're going to get a blue screen. You're still going to hear my voice, but you're going to get a blue screen. Because this game is now officially out, some of the content in the store has changed. On the PlayStation Store, I mean. So now, if I want to upgrade to the Aviator Edition on the PlayStation Store, I can pay £70 real money. Or, I can buy Simverse coins, which will cost me 86 quid. I can buy 400 Simverse coins for £86.99 real money. And that will let me buy content from the store. So I personally think, looking at all the add-ons that I've got available here in front of me right now that you can't see but I can, 40 Simvoice coins is £8.99. 200 Simverse coins is £43.49. UK prices these are. I think we're going to have to buy bundles of coins to buy in-game marketplace content, I do. But that's essentially what they are for right now. When I finish this flight, when I've got the plane down, I'll show you the in-game marketplace and how much things are from what's available right now, which there isn't a great deal, to be fair. Because like I said earlier on, they've not populated the marketplace with anything yet, and they've officially said that they've got no news to share on when third-party content is coming to the marketplace. Me personally, I'm not too bothered about a lot of the third-party stuff. The only third-party stuff I really want is the Orbix packs when they become available. And the Orbix packs are extra little bits of DLC that make some of the regions in the UK, they put more detail on the map. So Blackpool, for example, if you're familiar with Blackpool in the UK, if I fly around Blackpool now in the current state that this game is in, I've got no detail other than the Blackpool Tower. There's no detailing on the funfair, on the Pleasure Beach, on the piers or anything. But when the Orbix packs become available and you buy them and download them, there'll be a lot more detail in the Orbix in that region. So is that the airport I'm landing at there? I think it is, you know. Yeah, Cardiff, I think. That's where I'm landing. Yeah, so you have the Premium Deluxe Edition, which in the UK cost me £129, and the Aviator Edition, which had more planes and more airports, was 200 quid. So the difference was 70 quid. Now you can buy that now from the PlayStation Store, or you can buy it from the in-game marketplace on here by buying Simverse coins. No communication yet with the tower. Telling me where I can land, or if I can land. Might have to go for a pass around here again. I left it well too late to start descending. I've had no clearance to land here, but in free flights you don't get manual control over ATC, I don't think. Oof, plane taking off there, shit. And we're down. That's one of my better landings yet in this thing. So they're off. So yeah, everything's off there. So that was Binstead Airfield to Cardiff. Right, let's have a look at something here now. End flight. You will be taken back. So shall I try? This action will take you back to the main menu and flight will end. Shall I do end flight? End flight. Well, let's have a look at the logbook. 51 flights. See, I don't think these flights are registering. Because I'm not in the Skyhawk, I'm in the Caravan. Oh no, hang on, they're in disorder. So I have done 2 flights today, the 8th. Since I've been live, I've done 2 flights and they both registered. One was 15 minutes, one was 39. That sounds about right. So they are registering in the logbook, which is good to know. Right, let me go back to the main menu. Right, if I come down to Marketplace, as you'll see in the Marketplace now, the only stuff in the Marketplace is stuff that I already own, or stuff that I don't own, which is the upgraded content to the Aviator Edition. There's nothing else in here yet. And as you can see there, the Premium Deluxe to Aviator upgrade is 400 Simverse coins. Now, blue screen again, bear with. So if I was to buy that using the Simverse, buying Simverse coins, I'd have to buy 400 Simverse coins, which is going to cost me $86.99. But on PSN, I can buy that upgrade if I want to for £70 real money instead. But outside of that, other than stuff I own, other than one airplane there, which might be part of the Aviator Edition, and it's bizarre how it says it's a free trial. I don't know what it means by free trial. Buy minus 35%, so that's going to cost me 52. So if I just want to buy that plane, that is going to cost me 52 Simverse coins because it's reduced at the moment. Or I can have a free trial for a day, or I can rent it for 28 Simverse coins. So the NAM YS11 comes as a passenger variant and has the following liveries included: default white, custom livery 1, 2 and 3. The YS11 is a twin turboprop regional airliner that was developed and produced by Japanese aviation consortium Nihon Aircraft Manufacturing Corporation. The aircraft took its maiden flight in 1962 and the Namik manufactured 182 in several iterations from 1962 to 1974. So if you scroll down, you get screenshots of it. And of the liveries. Oh no, I can't view them. So you get a view of the cockpit. So, 52 Simverse coins. Bear with me a second while you get a blue screen again. So if I wanted to buy that plane, I need 52 Simverse coins. I'd have to buy 80 Simverse coins, which would cost me £17.49 real money. Or I could buy 3 lots of 20 Simverse coins, which would cost me £4.49 each. So you're talking what there, £12, £13.50 to buy a plane, one plane. To buy this plane, which is currently reduced to 52. When it's not reduced and it's 80 Simverse coins, that would cost me 18 quid. Usable in, tells you there as well what type it is. This aeroplane, it's usable in wheel photography and free flight, not usable in Korea. And then people who give it a rating there. Based on things like detail, technical quality and realism. So I think that's the only additional aircraft available to me via the marketplace. Oh no, there's more here. Oh no, that's the upgrades. So them are the upgrades from Premium Deluxe to Aviator. That's that plane we've just looked at. They are still the upgrades, and then all these here, as you can see, it says I own them because they're the ones that came as part of the Premium Deluxe pack. So I own them all. So there you go. Right. Right, let's do this. This is oh god, reckons it's an hour. Let me just check the time because I've got them on tea cooking duty for the kids. One of my better ones, Axel. Actually, one of my better ones. I did have to back out. I'd started descending too late, so I did have to go back around, turn back around and reapproach. But I got down. Got down all right. Right, let me just go to the toilet, and then we'll get this last flight out the way. Then I'm on. Like I say, I'm on tea cooking duty. Back in 2 minutes. Right, I'm back. Do you know what I haven't seen on this? Oh wait, I've just spotted it. I think. You can have the Beechcraft. We'll have it for passengers. Thank you, Axel. That's not the flight time down to 49 minutes, it's a faster aircraft. So let's try this then.
Tampa Tower, Tubbs Hotel Mike Kilo 29er ready at runway 1 left, north departure.
Tubbs Hotel Mike Kilo 29er. Altimeter 29er. 907 departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 1 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway 1 left, Tubbs Hotel Mike Kilo 29er.
Detail inside the cockpits there is unbelievable, isn't it? But I do want to get my head around the autopilot systems, and I might have to start on something small like this and then work my way up into the airliners. Why is it flashing red at the bottom? Yeah, it is. It's despite what some people may say as well, it's very. I find it quite relaxing. Apart from when you get to moments of panic. Vix, I hope I pronounced that right. Good afternoon and welcome in. Very little clouds low, isn't it? Low cloud. Should remember at like 3,500 feet. trim or not? A bit more trim. Still gaining height. I want to level off now. Well, yeah. And you get to see some awesome parts of the world as well. Do you know as well, Axel, I don't think this is actually labelled on the store as being officially PS5 Pro Enhanced. But I definitely think it's taken advantage of the extra horsepower. Because I've never known it run so well. Still gaining height. More trim on. Nose down. I think thinking back as well to FS20, that was about 150 gig install that was in the end on the Xbox Series X. And Sharky says his version of this is close to 500 gig. Now, I had to make some considerable room on the SSD for this, on the PS5, anticipating that it was going to be about 500 gig install. And as it stands, it's just under 8 gig. Now, if it runs this well, truth be told, and I don't have to wallop close to 500 gigs worth of content on the hard drive, you know, I think I might persevere with this. Because as it stands right now, I've had to move Train Sim World off my main SSD. And that's sitting at about 270 gig, I'm sure. And I've had to move that across to make space for this. But I might be tempted to leave it as if it gives me the option of installing or not installing. Other than base updates and stuff, I might leave it as is, you know, to keep my hard drive space free. The only time I've seen this really struggle is if you're at more built up areas like busier airports, like I did on the first day when this launched last Tuesday. I did a flight from London Central Airport, the one that's just on the Thames, and I flew across London and landed at a small airstrip west of London, and I got a bit of slowdown and a bit of stutter there because it was building it was putting the buildings and streaming the buildings in. But other than that, like now, running like a dream. I mean, 500 gigs is a lot of space for one game, innit? And I'm not knocking, I'm not jumping on the usual bandwagon of knocking, you know, your PC owners, but your SSD, M2 SSDs, they aren't cheap for your bigger sizes. So even PC players, unless this was pretty much their only game they were going to play, would probably be a little bit dubious about filling a hard drive for 500 gig for one game. I would be, personally. But if you can get it running like this with minimal install, as long as the infrastructure of your internet's alright, then it's a good valid option in my eyes. But with all that being said, I know that was a bit of a contentious thing when this first launched on the Series X and the PC this time last year. Because people couldn't install all their content and it was all running from streaming or the cloud. I think it gave people a lot of issues. If initially that's what Microsoft were going for, with like a minimum install, hoping that more people would be able to stream it in to free up hard drive space, then I commend them for their efforts, but there's too many other variables that affect how good the game is going to perform for different individuals, isn't there? When it's reliant on streaming. And, you know, I'll throw a little bit of blame back their way at server stability, I guess, as well. The only problem here now is as I look down on the stream, because of the way that Twitch is dealing with the HDR on this game, or not dealing with the HDR on this game, I can still see the full outline of my plane on my native screen, where the whites of the wings are getting a little bit lost against the backdrop of the white, you know, the fully blown out whiteness of the clouds. And it's doing it no justice on how good this looks. Let's move inside the cockpit and see what happens there. Yeah, it says it losing. That's HDR, that isn't it? Bloody Twitch. I mean, it's not ideal for people watching, but take it from me, natively on my screen, because obviously dealing with the HDR a lot better, it looks absolutely stunning. And it's a shame, really, that that doesn't translate well across to Twitch. How nice this looks. Does that? I think it gets confused when I'm trying to control that bloody flight planner thing. It starts to confuse the controls. the frick? See, why did he do that for me? Just getting in the cockpit and trying to zoom forward. Right, I'll stop tinkering. I'll stop tinkering. I was going to have a mess or try have a mess with the bloody autopilot, but we won't, shall we? I'll get so far into the flight and then suddenly blow it. Tinkering with that, any of that. Should have tinkered with that when I was on the ground. Programmed it all in. It's a bit nerve-wracking doing it when once you're up in the air, and then any inputs you do on the controller start affecting the plane when you're simply trying to point at buttons. See, Sharky made a point the other day with regards to that thing, that when you access that, he couldn't, when you bring that up, he couldn't access anything on it. And I think he contacted Asabo, or Asabo as they're called, and they said, get a mouse. I mean, joking aside, I am quite tempted to get myself a cheap wireless mouse for maybe doing the in-cockpit stuff. Because it'll be more precise when pressing the buttons. I might even have one kicking around the house. That might have a mess with. A wireless one with a dongle. I think someone said you can use. I'm not sure if a Bluetooth would, if you got a Bluetooth one, it'd have to have its own little Bluetooth dongle. I don't think it would work with the Bluetooth built into PlayStation, but it's something worth researching, I think, for this. What, to work with the PlayStation? Because even their official headset, you know, I'm pretty sure their official, those white earbuds that they do, the official PlayStation ones, I think even they come with a link adapter, you know. So I'm not sure if they work natively with the bloody consoles. It's called a PS Link or something, unless I'm getting the wrong end of the stick, and that's for something, for some other functionality. I don't know. It's a shame about that that Elite wireless headset that I had, you know. There's no word of lie, it was one of the best sounding headsets I'd ever used. But the fact that it kept cutting out and losing connection was just, was awful. Yeah, it was super comfortable, super lightweight, sounded incredible. The noise cancellation thing that it had built into it, which would literally, as I'm talking to you now, right, if I didn't move the mic out of the way, left the mic exactly where it was, and I was talking to you, then all of a sudden I opened a packet of crisps and started munching on a packet of crisps. It had some tech built into it that would know that I was munching on a packet of crisps, and it would mute the mic, or not mute the mic, but cancel out that background noise. And it was incredible when I used it and tried it out, but it was just too temperamental, because it kept losing connection, and when it did lose the connection, it would absolutely be an pain in the arse to get reconnected again. And when you were in the middle of streaming, it's happened on me a couple of times when I was streaming, and it was a nightmare trying to get it reconnect. And I think it was luck of the draw as to whether you had those issues with it or not, because not everybody did. But when you googled it, Google was full of people saying cracking headset, just having disconnection issues. And I don't think anybody ever pinpointed it down as to whether it was just interference from other devices that they got maybe on in the household. Then I know a couple of YouTubers who use them as their primary headset when they're creating content for their YouTube channel, and they've never batted an eyelid about it, they've never said anything about it having issues. What the hell? That shit me up. I think we've got a storm. trying to get the trim balanced out here, but I'm getting a lot of turbulence. What the hell's going on here? Hell. Left that behind. Once I finish this flight, I mean, what do I reckon I am into this flight? About 20 minutes in. I think it was a 40-minute flight. 49-minute flight, I think. I might be off when you come back because I've got to do tea. But I'll be streaming again tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow, day off. Still losing altitude here, despite putting trim on. No worries, Axel. No worries. Still got rumblings of that storm. Oh, that was lightning then, I think. Just go let the cat in while I've got me altitude. Steady boys. I wanted to look at my EFB, see how long I got left on the flight roughly, but I didn't tinker with it. Even though my first landing was rough, and my second one at Cardiff was much better. Let's see if I get 3 out of 3. Wraithwell, good evening. It is a bit noisy. It's much better inside, much quieter inside. There's Veronica. Veronica, how do you think our guests are? In the back, I think they're alright, I think they're comfy. What's that just turned on? Have to be careful doing too much tinkering. Sharky, good evening. Miami. Heading down to Miami. So I've done a couple of flights in the UK, short ones. One from some island just off the west coast of Cornwall, for those that know the UK. Then I've done the Isle of Wight to Cardiff, but because I've got it set to real time, it was getting a bit too dark. So I've moved over the pond now to the US, and I've started at Tampa, and I'm flying out to Miami. I think it was scheduled to be a 49-minute flight. Originally it was an hour and a minute because I was in the Cessna Caravan, but I switched to the Beechcraft plane, which is a little bit faster, so it shaved 10 minutes off the flight time. And it's better for you lot watching as well because it's daytime. Glorious blue skies, lots of clouds. And I'm doing free flights so that I can practice my landings, because I'm a bit messing the landings up in the career mode. I'm doing everything right in the career mode when I'm getting up in the air, flying, dropping a plane off or flying over some scenery for someone, for a passenger that's on board. But then I'm not quite getting the airspeed right when I'm flying over some of the scenery, so they're telling me that I'm going too fast and they can't take the views in, and then I'm definitely not getting the landings right. So I'm just messing around in free flights at the minute, trying to master my landings a bit better in the different aircraft. Right, I think this might be my my stop, Miami International, it is as well. Can you believe with my dodgy eyesight, I might get right up to my TV screen to see that? Until you get pretty much on top of the airport, I can never tell whether I've got the angle of approach right. I might have to fly over it and see how I'm approaching this. Because I still can't see through that cloud and can't figure out what angle I need to get into the runway. Ah, I can make that out now, I think. Right. Oh, let's go this way. This road right below me there is pretty much straight towards the runway, so I can use that as a bit of a guide. Come on, let's get 3 out of 3. God, I still think I've left it too late. We're gonna have to back out.
200.
Come back around the other way. A point coming in there on the left. Yeah, this is the only time I get a bit of stutter. I got it when I did London, and now I'm in Miami and I've got them buildings in the background there in the distance. And then because I'm at a busier airport rather than like a small airstrip, you do get a bit of stutter. Probably still haven't left myself enough here. God, why? Get down, man. What's up with you? I've got no power on whatsoever. There's a plane getting ready to taxi there as well. That's coming behind me, that is. I mean, I'm down, but
DC-12 on final. Cleared for takeoff runway 27. Miami Tower, Cheska 829 are ready for departure. Runway 26 left, IFR to Mani. Cheska 829 are hold short. United 2435, hold position. Caution the Airbus A320 on the taxiway.
Hold position, United 2435.
good. Let's get past him. Nice, I got down. It wasn't ideal, especially when it looked like another aeroplane was looking to take off behind me. But I got down. It was quite smooth in the end, considering it didn't have much runway left.
Southwest Tree 0902, hold position. Caution the Boeing 737 on the taxiway.
Hold position, Southwest Tree 0902.
Just parking up.
United 2435, continue taxi.
God, where's he wanting me to go here?
Roger, United 2435.
Airbus Tree 907, hold position. Caution the Boeing 737 on the taxiway. Airbus Tree 907, continue taxi. Airbus Tree 907, did you hear my last transmission?
Okay. I'll come in a minute, just when I've landed there. I'm sure I powered it down, yeah I did. There we go. 3 out of 3. First landing was a bit rough. Only because I accidentally stuck power on when I was just about to land. But the last two I did, the one at Cardiff and this one's been sound. So there you have it. So I'm going to end the stream there now because I am on. Got some chores and stuff to do. So I'm going to end the stream quite abruptly, unfortunately, because I've got the kids nagging at me and I'm going to have the wife in a bit. But I'll be streaming again tomorrow because I'm on day off tomorrow. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow. You're at college? Yes, you are. So take care, everyone. If anyone else is streaming tonight, if AC's around or anybody is back on again tonight, I'll be lurking. I'll be around. But other than that, if you're around tomorrow and you're working and you can lurk or whatever, I'll catch you all tomorrow at some point. So take it easy, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for this quick stream this evening. and I'll see you soon.